Alrighty, welcome back. Wednesday, vibe check. We're doing these every Wednesday around this same time. So if you're new, welcome in. My name is Chase. I am a level 1 charter market technician. Been in crypto since 2017. I'm doing my best during this cycle to help you fight the FOMO and unfollow the moon boys so you don't get dumped on like we've all been in the past. My past mistakes, hopefully your future wins. That makes sense. All right. Welcome, everybody. Got some familiar faces in the chat so far. Welcome in my longtime followers and also new time. So you might see in the background here, we're looking at Google Trends. If you don't know about this, right? You can Google Trends. Just type that into your little browser. And hopefully you're using like either a VPN. If you're in crypto, you got to be using either a VPN or Brave browser. Just like if you're using Google Chrome still or something else, why? Right. Okay. So having said that, go to Google Trends, type in Bitcoin, and this is what you get. If you own a 5-year search history. So the point of these streams is doing a vibe check. Are we at the top? Are we near the top? I've got an interesting story to say. Please share your stories in the chat. If you've heard from people you've not heard from since 2021 cycle top, right, we got to talk about it. All right, so we're doing these every Wednesday to check in on market sentiment and then obviously get some requests towards the end, right? So we'll get to your requests, type those in too. So we're looking at Google Trends. I just type in Bitcoin. Go back 5 years, and this is it. So looking at previous cycle top, I mean, look at the chart, right? Look at where we are now. Now, also, let's realize this is the highest search queries we've had since the bear market lows. This is the bear market lows right here, this spike back in 2022, right? So the people that were probably looking at how low Bitcoin went are also looking at how high Bitcoin went. Probably the same people. And noting, why are we looking at this? Well, I think we still have plenty to go in this cycle. I do not think this is close to a cycle top. And this kind of backs that up, right? I think we're going to go much higher. I think we will get, at least 80. You would think at least 80 on the trends, on the Google Trends. So let's keep tabs on this. Maybe we could check this every week, right? We'll check into this the rest of the cycle, and we'll see how it goes. But look how frothy it got back here. Not yet, but it's definitely started, right? It's definitely got some attention. Okay, so Google Trends, you can do that yourself too. All right, let's get to some charts. Bitcoin 95K. Here's the daily chart snapshot. You can see our throwback right so far to these range highs. It could easily hold here and just continue on its merry way to 100K plus. But ideally, we don't want to do that, right? This is what we talk about all the time in our Telegram group, that we do not want to see Bitcoin go over 100K this year if we want the cycle to last another year. And trust me, you do. If you want your pure alt season and you want 10x plus still in your portfolios, you do not want to see Bitcoin continue rising this rapidly. We need Bitcoin dominance to top. We need Bitcoin to chill. So ideally, the ideal scenario is, let's think back to, earlier, let's go to the weekly chart. It looks a little bit easier to explain here, right? So here's the weekly snapshot. We're looking for a chill on Bitcoin to get an alt season like this, right? That right there will ignite an alt season like we haven't seen. Bitcoin dominance has already breached where our target was, just over 60%. It's going back down a little bit. Something like this, where we start to chop in the couple weeks ahead, or really couple months ahead, would be ideal. And alt season would start, and everyone's wiping their tears with hundreds again. All right, so that's what we're looking for, right? Who doesn't want to wipe your tears with hundreds? Okay, so that's my thoughts on, quick thoughts on Bitcoin. If you're wondering, like, when the hell is alt season? It's around the corner, but we need Bitcoin to remain bullish and not do much, just like this right here. Right? This is the best altcoins have done, right? Think back to January, February of 2024, right? Not that long ago, but seemingly like it's been a long time. That's when altcoins did best. That's when altcoins will likely have their alt season. When we get back there again. Sorry if I just pulled a chart up above my head here. So that's what we're looking for. All right. We do not want Bitcoin, unless you're Bitcoin maxi, then you just want to go to 150K and be done and, you know, sell and forget altcoins. I don't think anybody's really in that boat except for Sailor, but to each their own. All right. Questions. Vibe check. Anybody got any stories? Good friend just asked about crypto. How long has it been? Oh, yes. So he asked about XRP. So I don't know what kind of XRP news is going on. I don't follow XRP, but interesting you say that, because my cousin, who has never texted me ever, texted me and asked how much XRP he should buy. Clearly never watches any of my stuff. Otherwise he would know how that would be my last choice, but here we are. Also noting that, like, the Google Trends just peaked, right? The highest it's been since the bear market lows of 2022. Interesting. Local top. Hopefully we have a local top for Bitcoin. We do not, like I just said, we don't want to see Bitcoin go to 120 this year. Anything like that. We want Bitcoin to chill. I would ideally like us to go back down, like, to the EMA 8 here, like mid 80s, high 80s. But if you look at, like, the 3-day chart, like, testing the EMA 8 would be ideal. You can see these range lows here just kind of chop around. I would really like something like this. We could easily just kind of slowly trend up. This would still be bullish, something like that. But ideally, we're looking for a rhyme of this to get alt season going. And to, like, even chop around the EMA 8, which is 89K right now. This is the 3-day chart. If you go to the daily chart, that's the 21 EMA. All would make sense. This would remain bullish for Bitcoin, but not too crazy. This would be so ideal for altcoins, I can't even tell you. So I suggest you hope for 89K or 90K, right? We're looking for a chill of Bitcoin somewhere in this box for the rest of the year. Like, in there. Just if it could just stay in there between now and Christmas, our alts would start going berserk. I promise. So that's what we're wanting. But yeah, there's some vibes that say this is perhaps the local top. Now, we don't want to go too low. I don't think we go all the way back down to, like, this breakout. That's not typical of a new phase, which we're in phase 3 now, the final phase likely. But if you look at back here, right, this was phase 1 out of the bear market. There's phase consolidation, and then the new phase just typically keeps going. Right? So are we here or are we up here? We could easily be just getting started here, right? Which would be not ideal for long-term cycle, right? If we are in fact getting ready to go higher and we are over like 110 by Christmas, I think we have less than 6 months to go. Maybe even 3 to 6 months. Now, if we can maintain in this box for the rest of the year, we could potentially have 8, 9, 10, 12 months, which would be so fantastic for altcoins. All right. Now we can get to back to the chat. All right. Hopefully I answered some of the questions about corrections and where I think we could possibly go and what we want to happen. We'll look at FTM. That's our first request. We got Pendle. Sharma, you always ask for Pendle. You must have a lot in Pendle. Looks pretty good. It's a good chart. Sin, I should probably start writing these down. Let's just get to the requests, I guess. Welcome in, everybody. All right, we got a lot of requests. We got to get rolling here. All right, so let's get to it. So we'll start at the top. We're not doing XRP, even though it's in like I put it in my tweet just to get more people in here. I don't know why. I don't know what the allure is of XRP. It's got to just be promises, right? It's been around for as longer than I've been in here. I've been in here since 2017. It's the same prices, folks. Okay, so first one, Fantom FTM. So if you're watching this at a later date, you can always watch these back. You can just, fast forward to the next coin. We'll try to go in order of the chat here. So try to give you some kind of a timeline. All right, FTM here. Looking at the daily chart, we'll just kind of focus on the weekly, look at the macro picture. So we've looked at this in the past, obviously. The 1618 is coincidentally right at the previous cycle highs. So could we get back there? Well, we should. Most coins should get back to their highs, but that doesn't mean that couldn't be the top. That's a 3x away. So I like to look at also, like, where do we start the cycle? So January, the first week of January 2023. That gets you a 1,500% move. So it's a 16x full cycle. That's not terrible. Can we get to the 2618? That'd be a nice move. So that's $15 at the 2618. That'd still be, forecastable. It's still plausible, I would guess. We're just going to add out all the ibbles. Go look at CoinMarketCap. I can't keep track of all the market caps, but as long as your market cap's not stupid, right? 10 billion, something like that. I think a lot of coins will do 10 billion. I mean, I'm doubting these kind of numbers, but it's at $1 especially. So you can also take your measured move from, you can go from the lows here or your January lows. Like, see what these percentage gains are. There's 17x, here's 80x. Right? It's stupid, right? We're not getting up there, right? That's like probably unheard of. Not many coins have ever done that. But can we get to the 2618? That's certainly within the realm of reason based on other coins' historical moves. And, this, nice higher highs, higher lows. We'd want to watch for this in the next handful of maybe one or two candles, right? We'd ideally like to close above that. You can see this is a pivotal level. Why do we hesitate here? Any guesses? Just look over here. It's no rhyme or reason, right? That's it. Previous swing low support, starting the bear market, flips to bull market, range high resistance. Range high resistance. You want to see FTM pick up big time momentum, you just close a weekly candle above 125 and you're likely off to the races. So your next target, where else are you going to look at besides $3? Right? Your next zone. Right there. Right? 295 to 330. Looks good. All right, next. We'll keep it moving. Pendle. I did a YouTube video out on Pendle, I think last week, and I think I got at least 100 views. So probably keep Pendle for the requests and our Telegram stuff like that. But yeah, I'm all for trying new things for YouTube. But if it doesn't work out well the first time, it's probably not going to happen again. I did a video yesterday that worked out very well on Caspa. So go check that out if you haven't already. That did very well. Okay, so looking at Pendle here, right? Slowly climbing the stairs, healthy move, maintaining above your EMA 8 on the weekly. I don't like that candle. But if we can kind of shake that off, close this week above there, we got to take out that high wick. That could mark a local top if we come back down here. Where would we be looking at for the lows? Well, ideally that 21 EMA, you don't want to close back below that in phase 3 of a bull run. So watch for that on any coin that you're looking at. If your coin is, looking healthy and then it closes back below a 21 week, that's a pretty big warning sign that it could be fizzling out and not going to do much the rest of the cycle. So be warned on that, whatever you're looking at. This one will be included. So the 21 week, 446, and this is slightly rising. Doesn't mean you can't wick below here, right? I don't care if the price goes down here, but if you close a weekly candle under the 21 in phase 3 of a bull market, it could be very sketchy ground. All right, but next target is obviously range highs here. Knocking on the door of 7. 18 is the 1618. Still within, less than a 4x, 3.5x or so. And then we want to look at the, the overall moves. It's on 14x so far. 37, 38x up there. Still not bad from the lows, right? Compared to what we just looked at. Could it get up to this realm? Well, check the market cap, but there's a 16,000% move. Many coins did that last cycle. Not out of the possibility, but you know, at these fib levels, you want to probably start thinking about at least putting a stop loss or taking some off the table if we get up to here, and not just, you know, blindly hold until it says, you know, $75 gets hit, right? Don't be that person, right? You could get destroyed. So taking profits on the way up, or I like doing stop losses better instead of like, because then what if you sell here, right, and you have this coming, right? You could have a stop loss, and maybe you get out here, but I would rather take that gamble and then ride some more up here than just saying I'm getting all out at, you know, X level and not worrying about what happens next. So, you know, there's a lot of different strategies you can use, but also, side note, I like the way some of these altcoins are performing. You see, like some are up 15%, some up 25%. That's usually early signs of an alt season coming on the horizon. When you have random coins up like 20% on any given day, and some down, some not doing much. So that's I'm getting a little bit excited there. Right? I think that's early signs. We're watching for Bitcoin dominance to top. We don't have a definitive top yet, but I think a lot of coins will start to roll bigger, certainly after they clear their highs or a significant level like the 786 here, 556, where you can see that that's been resistance for a month now, right? Close above that. Maybe we can shoot up here and then continue on. All right, let's keep it moving. Synapse. This is kind of in my black sheep of my personal list. Like, I want it to do well. I thought it would be doing well. It could still do well. Has a low market cap, but it has been a little dudsy lately. So we need it to break out here. And this is really busy. So let's remove all this. There's like too many damn lines on that chart, and I don't like this pattern forming, right? How it's coming up here, but you know, it's not like a flag, right? It's like it should. If it came up here, this would be like a textbook bear flag, and this might fall off and do nothing. I would put less weight into that and more on like decision time is coming here in the next probably 30 days. Like, is it gonna kind of just fall out in duds, or is it gonna actually break out this time and kind of build off of it? So obviously the range highs are pretty clear there. $1.40, $1.45. We need to just get something moving. And it's anytime it's tried, there's a candle close above the 21, it gives it right back. So if we close this week above the 21, like it's gotta like, you know, shit or get off the pot here. As my uncle always said. Interesting family. Okay, so if we can close above the 50 week, that would be great. Now realize that's a significant level. Because why? Why is the 50 week matter to Synapse? Any guesses? No, I don't. I hear crickets. When is the last close you saw above the 50 week? Right? If you put it on a line chart, that's the closing prices. Easy to see. We have not closed above the 50 week in a bullish manner since really like early part of the year. That's what we're looking for. A close above the 50 week. That'll be very significant for Synapse. A close above the 50 week. We're not that far away. Mark your calendars for a close above the 50 week for Synapse. All right. Next one. SwiftC. Covered that yesterday in our group, but we can do it again. I tried to find it. I'm just going to have to type it in. Nope. You got to spell it right, bud. There it goes. All right, it's down here. It's a green chart. Finally, you're back to above your 21 week. Look at the volatility, though. All these candle wicks, I mean, like 30% volatility week over week over week for the past month. So if you're watching this closely, you've probably been on a emotional roller coaster. But clear flip level here, right? Previous swing low resistance support, new swing high resistance. You can see this little bar too, right? That's, I mean, look how significant that's been since August. So again, first time in a long time, if it can close this week above this zone, that's a sign of things starting to shift. And then we'd want to see follow through the very next week and ideally get above this 4,500 level. And then we can really probably start to pick up momentum in a big way, especially with this kind of rounded formation, flip a resistance zone, big resistance zone. Flip that back to support, and then we should like kind of slingshot up again, and I'd be looking at another move like that, right? That's pretty significant. Yeah, that was pretty significant, 8x. So if we did that again from this zone, I mean, look at how far we're going here, right? So let's see what the Fibonacci looks like. Just a quick little shot here. The 1618, 2618, there's your levels. Again, from like where we are now, I don't know if we can get that high, but the market cap I know is pretty low on this still. So maybe we can, right? Especially doesn't have, you know, years of history. We'll have to eyeball this one. Let's check in on this one like kind of weekly. All right. Let's keep it moving. VRA. All right, this is a red chart. Let's see if it's moved up. I've tried to keep these updated, but this is still in my red zone. Why would that be? I could probably move it to orange, but it's not above orange, even though it's flipped above the 21 week, because you can see this pink line right here, the 200 week. If your coins are still below the 200 week, you have to be prepared for it not to do a whole lot this cycle. It's still below the 200 week. It's still below a significant macro support resistance level. There's your bull market lows. Bear market highs. Actually, that's the new bull run highs, right? Resistance, it finally broke through. It really needed to hold this, right? This, we were fine until right here. It really kind of gave up a lot of momentum with that. So that's a stick in the spokes, as they say. I mean, at least it held these lows, but that take all the wind out of sails, as the grammar man says. If we can somehow get above the 618 here, that's like, you could argue that helps the momentum, but you're still under the 200 week and still under a macro zone here. Now, if on the other hand, we can make a 60% rally in the next couple of weeks, then I could probably upgrade this and feel better. But the next time we test this, we better not reject, right? We don't want to do that again. You don't want to see this have to build up again. It needs to blast through here. So that's a very significant level. And if we get up there again and fail, we could easily come like back down here while everything else is rocketing. That's the, you know, my opinion, that's the cost of holding these weaker charts. Is it could do well, but it could just as easily, if not more easily, not do well. So red and pink charts are like the bad ones. Red's bad, pink's the worst. So be careful if you're in those. Hopefully, if you are, maybe just a little bit. Hopefully you're not 100% on any red chart. That would be no good. You've probably down most of the cycle, right? January, in this whole cycle, you're up only like 2.5x. From the start, right? Okay, so let's keep it moving. CKB. Just a reminder, we're doing these every Wednesday now. Hopefully for the rest of the bull run. Okay. I hit it, but it didn't go. There we go. Okay, so CKB is a green chart. Right? Looking good. Pumpamentals, fantastic. Look at that move. Holding above the 21 week. I mean, look at the macro. Look how much you're up off the January lows. Yeah, you're up 7x almost at current prices from this cycle. Look at that move. 16x to the lows to the highs. Okay, so what are we looking at? How about we look at a Fibonacci and see like where our next potential level could be once we break the highs here. Right, the one, right, range highs. So that's first and foremost, you got to break out of here. You know, hopefully sooner than later. You could even make this a bigger zone because the close, remember the closing prices. High close there. Can be a little bit more picky if we want. Okay, so I mean, look at the rejection off the 618. That's typical. I wouldn't fret too far on that. Nice move there. Look at that candle. I mean, a 2x in a week is always nice. And we're going to see much more of that when alt season starts in the next couple of weeks to maybe a month or so. I think you're going to see this running rampant across the board as long as it's not a red or pink chart. Okay, so what I'm not picking on any red or green charts. It's just their charts suck. It's not the coin. It's not the project. It's just it's not working out, right? It could be a Ferrari, but it got no wheels. It's not going nowhere, right? Okay. So having said that, this looks like it's coiling up here. Like, look at the moving averages. It looks to me like this might break free and have another. I don't know about this strong a move, but I wouldn't doubt we could get like up here pretty quickly. This looks pretty good. That's a 60% move, right? Why not? Let's look at some indicators on this to see if we got some momentum. Our strength's a little low here, right? Ideally, we'd like to get this back up. So if we do make a big move, we want to see that backed up with some strength. We have not much momentum on the MACD. And the Fisher, one of the more important indicators in my book, well, it looks like it's trying to trigger buy here. Watch this on the weekly close. If this one trigger buys on the weekly, I think that would back me up in my feelings of this kind of coiling up like a spring, and we might get a nice little move here. But I would expect this one to do well in alt season, right? You want to watch how fast it gets up here, right? If alt season comes around in the next couple of weeks and you see coins outperforming this one or whatever, you can take this as any coin you're in. If your coin is sluggish when, you know, the average coin you see it's up 10%, if you like go across the board here and you're like, everything's up 10%, my coin's up 1%, that's trying to tell you something. Okay, so watch for that. Range highs, I don't even know what to expect if we break this, because it's, I mean, fourth time could make a significant rally. So looking from our range highs, even if we get like up in here to the 1618, look at that move. We're looking like a 4x, and that could come quick. I mean, it did, like, you can argue that's impossible, but I mean, it did a 13x inside of like almost 2 months. Looks like a pretty decent chart to me. All right, but it's worth noting that, like, just because it looks great doesn't mean it is, right? It could be a Ferrari. Check your wheels. All right. KuCoin on, I assume, Veracity, VRA. We'll come back to it if we got time. Let's keep moving. Arrow. Yeah, if you want a specific, exchange, note that when you request your coin. Otherwise, I'll just kind of pick one or whatever we have picked out here. And sometimes they have more history. If you're wondering, like, why would that matter? Certain exchanges have a lot more history than others, if you haven't realized that by now. Okay, Arrow. Up 9% today. Looks good. We don't have a ton of history on this one. But this is on Coinbase. You might have more history somewhere. Looks like it's been consolidating for a long time, which could be a nice thing, especially if your consolidation is above all your moving averages. That's usually a bullish thing. Yeah, this looks good. Let's see where the macro fibs are. So swing high to low, 1618. Let's see where these are going. There's another 5x there. And a 32x, I think that would probably be nice. Could we do it? You got to check your market cap here. Will the market cap allow for a 32x? That'd probably be pushing it. And let's look at the, probably not. I would say that's probably a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, we're at, almost 10,000% to the 1618. Yeah, that's a little much, right? See, that's 50. That'd be like the best performer of all time. Not that it's impossible, but let's reality check here. I think if you get to the 1618, you're doing pretty good. So from current prices, you're still, 5x away. Doesn't mean that has to be the top, but definitely an area of interest. And that's all really Fibonacci's are for, just areas of interest. Some coins respect them more than others. If they've been respecting, previous moves and you have more history, they will likely continue to do that. If they're relatively new, like anything's possible. Certainly in FOMO, right? They should be taken less seriously in mania phases, right? But general areas of interest. So looking pretty good. Let's check the indicators real quick. Higher strength, right? I mean, the Fisher is definitely an agreement of some strength here. Got a lot of momentum. Everything looks good there. So my only worry would be if you take that low out, which I don't really foresee happening now, right? I think most altcoins lows should be in. That should be relatively obvious, but the major warning would be if you take out and close again underneath that 21-week EMA and or this low close, that would be a significant warning and not to be taken lightly. Hey, no name. Appreciate it. Thanks for the gifts again. Awesome. Appreciate that. Got 5 gifts, 5 membership gifted. Amazing. Rockstar. Okay, let's make sure I don't got anything else. If I skip over a comment or something, just let me know. All right. I'm glad I can add some smiles to the chat, make it a little bit obscure. Oh, we gotta scroll way back up. I've missed some requests here. Sorry about that. If you don't know, if you've never like live streamed before, like the chat, once it starts completing, it like can skip around and it like just auto scrolls for me. So sometimes I miss a comment, or it just goes way lower than I think it is. So appreciate your patience. Then you gotta try to find my place where I left off. Chainlink. I was gonna do a Chainlink video. I don't know if I got time today. So we can go, let's cover Chainlink and then we'll do Solana. Then we'll get to a couple others. Scroll back up. How many times you request a coin? I can tell how much of your portfolio is in there. Been there, done that, right? Okay, so Chainlink. What's significant? Well, we closed above the 618 with, I mean, look at these bars. These are strong closes. Very significant moves. And the next target, right? Why are we hesitating here? The 786, 1830. It looks great. I mean, how many coins are 25% above their EMA 8 on the weekly? It's not a whole lot. So let's not be too greedy here. I mean, Chainlink is up over 70% in 2 weeks. Let's not be retarded. I mean, we're doing great, right? So if we have a hesitation and we go back to 1750, let's not lose our minds here. It's looking pretty good. Look at our strength, higher than most. Okay, we've just flipped this level, swing low, swing high. Our strength is the highest it's been on the bullish side since October of 2023. Maybe you could argue in there, but that was on the downtrend, right? Right here. This is the last time we've significantly made this kind of energetic strength push. Let's go with that. Backed up by the MFI with volume. Look at the Fisher. I mean, holy hell. I don't know how you could ask for a whole lot more. Look at the MACD. I mean, amazing things happening here, right? So give some patience here. And if you're in Chainlink, we know you have patience. But our 786, 1830, our macro 618 is at 21. coincidentally is about the local top, right? Good area of interest for March, right? We could have seen that coming. So once we break that, range highs, 31, 33, something in there. 43, you can jump back and forth here. It's like $10 increments, 30, 40, 50. Looking good. Backed up by 2 strong weekly closes. Backed up by also the indicators. It's like brain stop for a second. Indicators, bud. That's what they are. There we go. So if you're wondering like why we're hesitating here, that was our May high, and it's our 786 fib. No big deal. All right, keep it moving. Solana, blue chart. Solana is a blue chart. I gotta remind myself to keep scrolling up because my picture's so big. So apologies. Just tell me to scroll up if I'm talking about your coin and it's behind my picture. Solana, blue chart. Why is it a blue chart? You don't have to ask, right? Just look at the chart. At or near all-time highs. Obviously above all moving averages. Strength. Has it done anything this cycle? Just a little bit. Start of the cycle was at $10. How's your coin doing? Right? We've been taking all the moves from there. In 434 days, it went up over 22x. Currently up still 25x from the start of this bull run. 25x. Not done yet. I've said for probably the better part of 6 months, I think Solana, maybe a year, Solana could hit $500 to $600. I'm not in the boat of Solana hitting 1,000 this cycle. I know a lot of people think higher than that, but 2618 is about all I got for me, for a realistic kind of move, right? The January start, right? Let's see where these go. There's a 6,000%, right? Are we going to get higher than that? It could, but I find a hard time buying that. But the more I look at it now, it's like one of the strongest coins. Could it do that? I guess it could. I could be shocked. But if you're not like starting to think about taking profits at $500 or $600 after starting this cycle at $10, like what are we doing here? But looking great, blue chart. I mean, the 1618 should probably get hit very quickly when the start of alt season happens. And I think Solana will continue to show strength, especially when you see like these long drawn out bull patterns, right? These are really good. And then look at the lid lines already been broken, thinking like a throwback retest and then off to the races again, very likely. I think Solana will be a front runner at the start of this alt season. So you see Solana taking off. Probably a good indication alt season starting. I mean, look at alts right now. And just look at the average gains here. These are pretty impressive. We have many coins, double digits today. If not 20% plus. Some of these. Don't worry if you're not, right? We have even a blue chart that's down a little bit today. So it's still too early to judge your coin harshly just yet. But definitely worth keeping an eye on. Solana's still gaining. Okay, let's keep it going. Hopefully that was enough. We could look at some Solana indicators. Strength high, right? Everything looks good. Starting to lose maybe some momentum, but it did break through kind of these local tops here, right? That would have been the place to kind of start to worry. So that kind of broke through. So now instead of that, I would look at this top. If we can start to break price high, we don't want to get some divergences here, but all looks good. Let's keep it moving. We got a little bit of time left. Appreciate it, Thomas. Glad you liked the streams there. Ondo. I think Ondo's a good one too. Let's see, what do we think? Okay, so Ondo, let's see what's up today. Up 4%. It was really great. It was like, at one point in time, this was like a potential blue chart. It really was blue, like up in this area. But it's definitely faltered a little bit here. So the weekly, regaining right? I do like, you got to look for these W patterns too, how it does this. These are usually signs that it's going to continue. So I really wouldn't doubt if it gets back up here relatively soon. But grinding across the EMA 8 until we get an alt season, probably pretty typical. 786, 120 or so. Let's remove these wavy lines. What else do we like? Let's look at the low, higher low, W pattern, breaking that. I mean, it all looks good here. Not a whole lot of data to go off, as you can see, right? We can't go back a long time in this, but everything's pretty strong. Your strength, all these in agreement. You're starting to gain some momentum on the weekly. All good things. Fibonacci. Macro high to low, around $3 for the 1618, 860, 2618. Check your market caps. Yeah, obviously it could do that. Can we do another 8x or so from current prices? I don't know what the market cap is. I assume pretty high. But yeah, looks good. I like to get into this. This will be another good one to check on kind of the weekly. So if you can join me for every Wednesday and request this, I'd like to see where this goes. But I would give this the benefit of the doubt to kind of finish this W here, and maybe by the end of this year we could be at maybe range highs 130 to 150. I really wouldn't doubt it. Okay, let's keep going on the requests, and we're still doing vibe checks. If anyone's got any stories from friends, enemies, dogs, cats, let me know in the chat. Where it looks like we're still okay. You can watch us back at a later time too. We talked in the beginning about Google Trends and looking at Bitcoin rising, but not near the peaks yet, I don't think. Tezos, I think this is not a great one. I had a bunch of Tezos last cycle. It's XTZ, dude. I might have deleted the chart. I didn't like it enough. So that's not a good sign if I don't have it here. Let's see what this chart's. It's under the 200 week, so yeah. Chester doesn't like it. Let's see. We're still down 86% from the highs, under the 200 week. I don't have a lot of great things to say on this. We still haven't taken out, I mean, even the bear market highs. Ugh. Think of that. The bear market highs have still not been swept. That's an issue. We're still under the 200 week. That's an issue. Even with the pump last week, right? Was that last week? Yeah. 80%. Could it catch fire? Yeah. Why did it hesitate here? Ugh. Ugh. These are worth noting. Like, I mean, I expect it to go higher than this, but can it get back to all-time highs? I doubt it. I will go on record saying that I do not think that we're going to make another 7x from here. Let alone however high some influencer told you it was going. So macro, that's a long fib. Yeah, no. 618. Can we get up there? Perhaps somewhere in this area, or maybe it gets back to 9. I just don't see it happening. If you got to hold on to this, and we get anywhere in that zone, 3 to 5, might want to look left and right. I'd love to be wrong. It's just, I play the odds, right? If you're looking at charts, it's to increase or decrease your odds of things. This is a red chart, and not only is it a red chart, like I deleted it because I didn't want to look at it anymore. So we'll put it back to red. We'll keep it, but I do not have high hopes for Tezos this cycle. Last cycle, it was hell yeah. It was great, right? Made a bunch on Tezos last cycle. Not so much. And then my name is Borat. Anybody have seen Borat? We like Borat. Everybody hates Borat. Nobody knows what Borat is. If you're under 20, you're like, what the hell is even that? All right, we're still going down. Got past all the gifted memberships again. Thanks again for that. Oh god, the chat's jumping around again. I'll get to your requests. Sparrowhawk, welcome in. DW, good to have you. Ave, another dinosaur from last cycle. We'll see if we can get this guy back in line. See, he's doing a little bit better. This was, I think we probably talked about this. Like if it goes back under here, we got to cut it. I don't know when we talked about that. It's probably right in this area. That's no more needs for that. Nice steady uptrend. Okay, we want to get a fib, a macro fib. Can do this one too if you want. I'll have to adjust that. Don't pay attention to this one yet. And we go to that one. Alrighty. That's a big one. Not likely. I'm going to go with not likely on that. 3,500. Ugh. Current price is still an 19x away. 786. Yeah. All-time highs. Yeah. Looks pretty good. How about a shorter term fib? See what this goes. Okay, so look at the 618 and the 1618 here. Very close. So if we continue higher, maybe we hesitate there. See if it'll be interesting to see if we do that. The 2618's at all-time highs. These are pretty significant levels here. That's not coincidence. You want to be taking notes of that. 2618's at all-time range highs. The 1618 is also at the macro 618. 3618. Can we get up there? Check the market cap again on this one. I know this is pretty large. Almost a 6x to get up there? Maybe. I'd find it hard to believe we get much above that. If we get above that, these are very significant levels. I obviously think we're going to get above there. Like the chart looks great over the past couple of weeks here, really a couple of months. But we're still only slightly above your 200 week. You're only 30% above the 200 week, just for perspective here. Let's go look at what Bitcoin would be if it was only that. 30% above the 200 week, Bitcoin would still be at 50K. Not great there. All right, hopefully that helps. XLM. This is one of my... I had a bunch of this last cycle too. Wow, nice moves over the past couple of weeks for sure. 786, finding some hesitation around 50 cents. 372. But look at the range highs. Look at the 80 cents range highs. Cycle peak 2017, 80 cents. Cycle peak 2021, 80 cents. Cycle peak 2025. You said it. I didn't say it. But there's the chart. Is it gonna break through, or is it going to cycle peak repeat? I don't know. I'd say if you're in profit and it's at 80 cents, like maybe look at yourself in the mirror. All right, let's look at the data in front of you here, folks. Peak 1, peak 2. Imagine it does peak 3 and it still doesn't get above it. You gonna hold it again? All right. Stellar lumens, not so luminescent. You can only get this here, folks. All right. Bruh. How we got spam chats? I don't have that. I don't have enough subscribers to have spam in the chats. We're not BitBoy. How the hell do we have spam chat in here? Who's joining? That's a bot on this. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, all. Mañana. What's everybody's favorite? What's my favorite? I don't know. I like deviled eggs. Is that weird? It's like my #1 thing I look forward to. Everybody else like that? People from other... Look at this is textbook throwback right here. If you're wondering what a throwback is, this is the ideal scenario to buy in. A throwback is when you break highs, usually all-time highs, or if not local highs, and then you confirm if the bulls are actually ready with a retest of that level, and if it holds, it's likely going to like trampoline effect out of there. Textbook example. So the 1618, 565. I think this one has a legit shot. I don't have any of this. Unbiased. But I think this has a legit shot of getting up to the 2618. Another 7x from current prices. Let's go look at the lows here. Yeah, still within the realm of possibility. If you're just interested and want to see the 3618 and the 423, there you go. I think those are a little bit more hard pressed to get. Cycle lows, it's a little bit of a stretch to get up in this area, right? Not likely. But could we go a little bit past the 2618? Maybe. Like a strong chart. Like, this is the charts you want to be in, folks. Like, a lot of charts. Hello. Alt I. Let's do that. Like, a lot of charts look like that. Right? Where it's just downtrend. Be in charts like that. That are just higher highs. For a year plus. So it looks good there. There's the fibs. Look at the strength. I mean, look at the MFI. MFI got it to 94. Really good sign. These are good. If you're really up in profit, just a side note, if you're still watching this, add the Mayer multiple to your indicators. If you ever get above this 2.4 area, certainly with the spike, that's where you want to start thinking about at least taking like 10% off the top. That's telling you by definition it's getting way too hot, too fast, right? So if you would have followed that, like you could have DCA'd out a little bit around $3 mark. Not that this is the local high or anything, but likely telling you that a cool off is on the near horizon. Doesn't mean you can't go higher than that, but just FYI, if Bitcoin ever gets over that, which has not been close yet for Bitcoin, but if we get over like 2 on the Mayer multiple for Bitcoin, time to start asking your grandma if she wants to buy your bags. All right. All right. Back to said chat. Maybe. Hang on. Lost my window. All right. There we go. All right. Scrolling through. Thanksgiving. Ethereum, historically, December is typically about the lowest price Ethereum goes for the next year. So if we do get a dip, Ethereum is usually the best buy around December. Just go back and look at the charts on the monthly. You can go look at any December. It's been pretty good to buy Ethereum. Yeah, I think things are picking up. I've got a lot more subscribers. We got a little bit more questions, more views on the YouTube videos, but nothing crazy yet. So I still think we have some time to go as far as the vibe check. APT, and a request for that. Is that Aptos? Whoops. I don't think we need all that. All right. I had high hopes for this one at one point, but it's been kind of a stable coin. I don't even know where we could even take a measured move here. I don't even think I like that one. I don't know. This is kind of a more of a gamble to me. This is kind of a coin toss because every time it goes up, it just comes right back down, and it's not done a whole lot. $50? Can we hit that? Maybe a 10x from the lows. I mean, unless it really wakes up here. If it's above 20, in the next 2 or 3 months, then I think it's got a chance to like get up in this area. But this could easily kind of just fizzle out around, you know, maybe around 20. I don't know. Pretty odd chart. I think I first started looking at this after this move. So I keep my eye on it, but then it just kept fizzling out. So I think I stopped tracking this after it started like kind of flipping the 21 week to resistance. That's usually a sign that's you got a while. And it's still like back at the same prices. It's just like been a stable coin around $10. So not a huge fan, even though it has potential. I know I think like the founders are like former Facebook executives, right? I think if that's right. BMW M5, that's a good one. Yeah, if you ever see me driving, if I ever tell you I bought my dream car, you better get out. Devil Dig meme coin, let's do it. I think I'll back that one. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good prediction for now. Like January, February, kind of my vibes when things pick up again, like really pick up. And I think we're relatively close to a top if that starts happening. Certainly if we've like 2 or 3x'd altcoin wide. Well, let's see. That's why we're doing. We're going to continue to do these vibe checks, okay? Every Wednesday, and we'll see like how things have shifted. Keep an eye on Google Trends for Bitcoin. I think the #1 state in the U.S. that Googled Bitcoin was Florida. I think that's what I saw. And Hawaii. I think Hawaii was #1 and maybe Florida was 2.
The first one is
Bro, my phone is like, thinks I said Google and like talking to it. Started responding to me. Okay. I think we're about done. Gotta wrap it up here. It's just after 1. Been on for about an hour. Yeah, Filecoin spikes. That's a warning sign. Okay, let's see what else. Appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for being here. I think we'll call it here. It's been on, we've been going for an hour. So I try to keep it an hour or less. Have a great Thanksgiving. Dream cars. Thankful for dream cars. No. What are you thankful for? We'll talk about that. Never. Talk about it tomorrow. And what else? I got nothing. Thanks. I'm thankful for the Dutchman. No name that gifts memberships every stream. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you on next time we talk. It'll be December. We'll start to get some more December vibe checks. Hopefully our coins are a little bit higher. But don't get discouraged if they go down, right? It's typical. If Bitcoin goes to like low 90s, high 80s, it's okay. That's what we need. It's extending the cycle. We do not want Bitcoin skyrocketing past 100K this year. Please do not do that, Bitcoin. That will greatly shorten our cycle and hurt our altcoins in the back end. Silver lining, Bitcoin goes down. We all win in the macro. All right, Bitcoin 96K. Slow the hell down. We need a chill zone. Remember the chill zone. We need that. All right. 5-day crypto, aka Chase. Signing out. Porsche out.